It did take a while, yeah.
He is a powerful guy.
I guess so.
I guess just first, obviously that was an emotional game. What's the mood of the guys today?
When we met, yesterday we got together. I think, obviously he was disappointed. I thought we played, watching tape, we played really, really hard. I mean, it was just a hard-fought game, and, you lose a game like that, and there's so many plays. I mean, Adrian had those two wide-open threes, and we'd make one of those, and we'd go up 10 back again, and, we just, there was a couple of bang-bang plays. The ball just didn't bounce our way. The call just didn't go our way, and it happens in basketball. So, but, it's early. There's still so much basketball left to be played. We got another great opportunity on Sunday. League play, I think no one is going to run away from this thing. I think so. You just got to keep battling.
Not to keep harping on the past, but did you, after looking at the film, could you tell anything as far as the final shot?
I mean, there's a couple plays, man. To be honest with you, I think that could have gone either way. I mean, the play right before where Durant drove the ball before the 10 seconds before it went through, it could have been there was a contact there. I mean, there was a lot of contact there, and obviously the referee didn't think it was enough to be warranted a foul, and then at the end, Durant's play was tough to see, but Malcolm, there was some contact there. So I mean, it's just part of it. I just think the late game, the referees are not willing to they want to make sure they see it good before they make a call like that, and that's understandable.
I shouldn't want to see it good every time.
Yeah. I'm politically correct.
Offensively, I wanted to ask you, it seems you guys have been playing really good defense lately, obviously, but the offensive end seems like you just haven't been able to get into the mode you want.
We haven't shot the ball well, Manny, and that's a little bit of a concern because I think this team is capable of being a really good shooting team. And we got to get more production inside and out. We got to get Reggie more involved, and I think that our offense will be better. But we got to get more movement out of our offense. I thought we got a little stale offensively against Florida State the other night. But there's no question that's definitely something we got to get better at as we move forward in league play.
Is that more of a thing of Reggie needing to be more aggressive, or is it more the guards
No,
needing
I think
to
he
look
needs
for
to be
him?
more aggressive too. But I think it does both ways. I think we've got to, when we do see Reggie's numbers, I mean, that 42 is hard to miss. We got to throw it to him. But he's got to do his work early. People are looking to take him out, and he's got to work a little harder. But I think it's both ways in terms of getting more production out of him. The other night, he missed a couple shots too, so he got a little frustrated. He wasn't his same self, and that's the growth and maturity that we need to see with Reggie. Not letting past plays affect your play.
I know the game kind of dictated, or the opponent kind of dictated it, but do you think your zone defense now is ahead of your man-to-man? I mean, is that your primary defense now?
I think we've gone a year thinking that we were going to be a primary zone defense because we've worked on it a lot, but I think we're a pretty good man defensive team too. I think against Boston College we played a lot of man, and we mixed it in a lot of bit. So I think it's good to have that ability to be able to do both. And our zone has man principles, so it's very similar in terms of what we do with our zone. We pressure the ball. We have help side defense. We rotate. So there's a very similar, other than we're stationary. We don't run all over the court.
Yeah, it does seem to me that it is an aggressive zone. I mean, I don't think you have to worry too much about somebody on three-pointers unless they...
No, we play zone against three-point shooting. I mean, Boston College is the best three-point shooting team in our league.
Right.
We play zone. I think you get to Boeheim's whole theory is, and I spent time with him in USA Basketball, is that, why would you not play zone against teams that do shoot? Because you have shorter closeouts, and you're able to get to shooters quicker. So that's why, the theory of don't play zone against teams that can shoot it doesn't make sense to him, and I think that's true in a lot of ways. That, you know where shooters are at, you can get to them in zone, and man-to-man sometimes, guys coming off screen, there's screening actions, and you lose guys from helping recovery. In zone, you don't have that problem as much.
So you got to tell us this Malcolm story. Is he finally going to get his driver's license, or what's the?
No,
the
he ain't getting his license. That dude ain't never getting his license. And Florida people live in this beautiful state we live in, should be happy he doesn't get his license. He has a tough time figuring out how to put his seatbelt on, so there's no way he should get a license.
Going back to NCAA a little bit, I know you mentioned this early, and it is, but is there a sense of urgency among the guys? For the most part in this league, you got to win 8 or 9 to get in the tournament. So.
Steve, I think there's urgency every time we play. You know, I mean, when you get a league play, I want them to play on edge. I want them to play with a sense of urgency every night. I don't think any particular game more so than the other. I want our guys to feel like we got to win every game. Okay, so there's no more importance on NC State as opposed to Florida State at home, because our guys understand you got to protect your home court. Our guys understand you got to steal some games on the road. So our mindset should be exactly the same every time we lace them up, and we got to play with the edge, a sense of urgency every time we play.
Can you talk a little bit about them? I guess what Sydney's got this year.
Well, they were preseason picked in I think 3rd or 4th in our league, so I think there's a lot of talent on that ball club, and they're very gifted athletically. I think the strength of their team is in their front line with C.J. Leslie, Tracy Smith, Richard Howell, Painter. I mean, I think those guys are all very athletic and strong, and Tracy was preseason all-league player. I think they got a terrific shooter in Scott Wood. He's a sophomore. And, Ryan Harrell and Lorenzo Brown, even though they're both freshmen, are a very talented backcourt. So it's a very gifted team in terms of talent. I mean, I think they had a top 5 recruiting class last year, and Leslie and Harrell, and they still got Javi Gonzalez back as a veteran. So they're a really good basketball team in terms of talent. Obviously, they've lost a couple games here late, and I'm sure that they feel like it's a home game that they got to have to get back in the race. But we feel like it's a road game we have to have. So it should be a intense basketball game.
You guys have gone on the road and played well, Frank. Just haven't been able to win. Do anything different to try to?
We're gonna try to be creative and do some things, but not different. Just some things we need to do to try to get our guys understanding how hard it is to win on the road and playing together as a basketball team. I think we're still growing as a team, this particular team, but I like the makeup of this team and this team's heart. I mean, they want to be good, and it comes from our leadership. And I think Malcolm and Duran are really good leaders.
You talk about Eric's potential, and it seems like his unbelievable hops and what where he fits in.
Eric is always going to be a guy that I think is a role player. But when I say that, it's not a negative; it's a positive, because he will do whatever you need him to do. And I say, guys, this guy turned his ankle the day before, and I'm telling you, it was bad. His ankle ballooned up like crazy. He finished practice, believe it or not. He finished, and to the point where Wes said, hey, he's got to go get an x-ray right now because I think it's broken. He comes back, finds it's not broken, said, well, I'm playing. But he can't hardly walk. He gets treatment all day and puts himself, right up to the game time, he hasn't done anything, and he's playing, and you wouldn't know it because he has that it factor. I love it. I love what he stands for. I love what he's all about. And you can win with guys like that. He's got a lot of, he's a little undersized, but he plays with a lot of grit.
You need those guys on your team, don't you? You need to mix those guys in that play with that extra determination and all that stuff.
No question. And he's never fazed by anything, and he's willing to do whatever he has to do to help the team win. He's all about winning.
And that didn't come up the other day, but the effect of the loss of DeQuan, how does that?
It hurt us the other night. There's no question that, missing an athlete. DJ and Eric are our 2 best athletes on our team. And in a game like the other night where Florida State's just tremendously athletic, losing a guy like DeQuan really hurt us in that ball game. But, injuries are part of the game, and hopefully we will get DJ back this year before the season's over with.
Does that get Akbajori more time on the floor?
Yeah, and that's what we did. We ended up, sizing down, playing Adrian Moore to 3 and moving Raphael in the post, and that's what we have to do. And hopefully Ryan Brown will get more minutes too.
Is Reggie over the bone spurs or still?
Yeah, he's still, he's not 100%, but I think he's fine. He's fine. We need him. He's got it padded, a different type of padding on it. But he moved well the other night. I didn't think it was a problem him moving.
Adrian missed a couple shots, but I have a feeling you have no problem getting him the ball if he's in the right place.
I was just, before you got here, we were talking about that, Adrian's ability. Florida State's defense is very good, but I thought we had some really good looks, and two of the looks where Adrian's one wide open, three in the corner, and one up at the top. He makes a high percentage of those, and he's a big part of our offense. And we're not playing as well, as I was telling Manny earlier, offensively, but I think we will, because I think we're close. We just got to make some shots, and we got to continue to play inside out.
But you encourage your shooters to keep shooting.
Oh, no question. I mean, Adrian and Malcolm. Malcolm was 1 for 7 from 3 against Boston College, and he just gets in the gym, work a little harder, and he played well against Florida State. When I'm sure people thought he wouldn't shoot the ball well against Florida State.
So shot selection is not an
No.
issue at all.
I don't think we're taking bad shots. I think you look at our team. I think we missed a lot of chippies around the hoop against Florida State, and Reggie missed 2 layups right there, and and I think that Durant had a couple of tough shots maybe on the drives, and Durant understands people are sinking in on him. He's got to be able to kick those out a little bit. But other than that, I mean, I think we're taking good shots. We just got to make them. And I do think also, as I said earlier, we got to continue with our movement, continue to get better ball, player movement, and our motion offense, so we can continue to get better shots.
Well, basketball is a kind of game where you can do everything right. If you don't make the shot, everybody says your offense is lousy.
That's exactly right. That's exactly right. And it's but if you really dissect it, I mean, I would be honest and say we really got some good looks. I mean, Adrian Thomas from the 3-point range, nobody in front of him. I mean, in the court, he had nobody. I mean, that's a good shot for us. And I think, anytime we get the ball inside of Reggie, and he missed a couple bunnies, those are good shots for us. We need him being aggressive and attacking.
Does it ever get in the back of a player's mind, hey, we're playing Florida State, and they're such a great defensive team that it bothers them or anything?
No, I think it's just our preparation in terms of execution, what we need to do, like offensively and cutting hard, and understand Florida State runs through passing lanes. We didn't turn the ball over, and that's the one thing you look at our offensive production is. You look at what we've done in the league play. I think we're less than 10 turnovers.
Yeah, it hasn't been
Maybe
that bad.
12, less than 12. We don't turn the ball over, so we're getting FGAs, and that tells me right there we're doing okay offensively. We just got to make some shots.
Coach, in football, you get a week to go over game plan and get ready for another team. And, you guys lucky if you have 2-3 days to start getting ready for another team. So how tough is it to kind of switch gears, go from one team to the next, and implement what you got to do and make sure guys understand the game plan and all that stuff?
Well, that's why basketball is a unique sport, and that we do have to be ready to go quickly. You can't dwell on things too much, and our preparation on NC State started that night. And after we got done with the game, our minds are going right to NC State, and we saw a little bit of the Duke game being played, and yesterday, even though we didn't do a lot with our team, our preparation and how we're talking to our team about NC State and watching film on our Florida State game, we're preparing for NC State. And but like today is a big prep day because we travel tomorrow. We travel today and we practice there tomorrow. But the day is a big prep day for us to get ready.
So do you do less looking back, more looking forward, or how do you balance like learning from your mistakes but also getting ready for the next team?
I think you got to do it in a combination. I think you good and bad. And we have a tape session, good, the bad, the ugly, and of the game, and then we move forward. Yesterday we had to take a day off, so in terms of on the court, I didn't want him on the court. We watched the whole game, so that was a great learning experience. And for example, when we were down, talked to Durant about the drive at the end of the game. Okay, this is a great example. We watched the whole tape. Is Durant was real even with the defender. I think Shannon was right here on his shoulder, and I reminded him of the end of the half when the kid tripped and the foul was called, but not a lot of contact. But they're schooled. If a kid goes down, obviously there's something's got to be a foul call. Well, if Durant doesn't avoid him at the end of that play, and he just keeps going straight to the rim, he's got a better chance of getting a foul call than trying to use the rim, which there was contact, but they're not going to call that because they see you avoiding contact. you got to go right at the defense. And so things like that in terms of breaking it down with our guys, watching the whole tape was very effective.
That's true, but my gut feeling is they're calling more charges these days in the games. I
Yeah.
don't have any statistics to back it up, it
Yeah,
just
but
seems that way.
the charge is going to be hard to call when
More on
when
the
the guy's
side.
running side by side with you. I mean, if he goes and he's attacking the rim, he's allowed to get to the rim. I mean, if he's got a straight line, you know.
Yeah.
But what Durant did, he obviously was able to get there. Then he went to the other side. My thing is if you just go straight to the rim and lay the ball up,
Lay the ball.
you know, or try to lay it up. They were gonna. I think Durbin was bailing out on it. He wasn't gonna, he wasn't gonna hit it. You know, Shannon might have went up. You know, which I think Shannon got him on the other end. Anything else?
No,
That's
thank you.
it.
Thanks, Coach.
You guys.
Have a good trip, take your coat, I guess.